Hi, my name is Kayla Lynch, and this is my nanny.
Ricky Horn.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. What year were you born?
I was born in 1954,
How old are you?
67.
And what schools did you attend?
Attended 3 schools, South Fork Elementary, Southwest Middle School, and West Forsyth High School.
So what was school like back then? Did you feel like totally safe at school and like nothing was going to happen?
Oh, yeah.
So you felt like really protected and...
Oh, yes. There, it was a very safe environment. We didn't have, I don't remember us having fights or, anything like that. And most certainly, I don't ever remember doors being locked.
Yeah.
No.
So pretty much everything was safe and you were in a controlled environment is what it felt like?
Yes, very controlled and very safe. And of course, if you got in trouble, you had to go to the principal's office. But yeah, it was safe.
So what world events happened while you were in school?
When I was in elementary school?
Yeah.
Let's see. John F. Kennedy was elected the youngest president. The space program began at that point. I remember seeing orbiting in school on the TV monitors at school. We learned to do handwriting, cursive writing in school. I remember my 6th grade teacher, she taught us to use the pen and the ink, which you dip in it in the well. Okay, we did that. I remember that. We always had playtime outside. I took piano lessons, which was not really a part of the school. I did it.
Did you enjoy piano lessons or?
I did it first, and then I kind of got to the point where I really didn't want to do it, but my parents had invested in a piano, so I had to. We had talent shows. I remember doing them with my friends.
Did you ever get nervous doing piano, like in front of people, or you knew that you could do it?
Well, I knew I could do it, but it was kind of nervy when we had recitals. We had to have recitals, so that I remember. And I even remember my piano teacher. Her name was Mrs. Warner.
Was she nice, or was she like a mean?
Well, she kind of smacked my fingers when I wouldn't hit the right notes, but I don't know if that was mean. Maybe she was just trying to help me along there.
So was there any kind of dress code when you were in school? Like, what did people wear, like in elementary school?
In elementary school, we all had to wear dresses. We cannot wear pants. So,
what would happen if you didn't wear a dress? Like if you wore like a pair of shorts or jeans or something, would they send you home?
I imagine. I don't think anybody ever pushed that, but I imagine that they would have sent us home. Called our parents to pick us up.
What if your parents wouldn't have came and got you? What would they have done?
I have no clue. Maybe kept us in the office all day. I don't know.
So what was like punishment in school? Like, how would they punish you if you got in trouble?
In elementary school?
Yeah.
You would have to go to the office, I think. I don't remember. We didn't get demerits. I got demerits, I think, or I remember getting demerits in high school, junior high and high school, but not elementary. I don't know if we got notes sent home to our parents or not. Fortunately, I didn't. I didn't know much about that, thank goodness.
So what was high school like for you?
High school was good. Now, another thing I did, let me say about elementary school, I was able to walk home in the afternoons. I rode the bus in the morning, and in the afternoon we lived close enough, and it was safe enough that I could walk home.
So you felt safe walking home from school, and like everything would be fine? What about on the bus in the mornings? Did like anything crazy go on, or did people listen and sit in their seats?
Well, being elementary, that we did, there were junior high and high school kids on our bus, and that was a little. Sometimes they were bullies,
So not only one grade, like not only one school road, it was like junior high, high school, and elementary.
Yes, all the same. Yeah, and one of the bus stops was right at my driveway. So, but it was, it was safe to walk home in the afternoon in elementary school, and in middle school as well.
Okay. So what was high school like for you?
High school was very different. Just, changing classes. We did change classes some in middle school, or junior high is what it was called instead of middle school. But not as much as we did in high school because we had different buildings to go to in high school.
So like you would have to walk outside and go to a different building?
And sometimes to trailers, because there were not enough room.
Yeah.
High school it was very different because you were shaping yourself for, more school or getting out of school and getting married, not necessarily going to college, and it wasn't that big. I mean, it was a big deal, but not as many people went to college in that era as they do now.
When you were in high school, what did you want to do when you grew up? Did you think about that, or?
Well, I worked when I was in high school. I worked at Tallhomer's after school. And then they had a program called Distributive Education, DE program. And I worked at a chiropractor's office.
Did you enjoy that?
I did. I enjoyed that. I did reception work. I read x-rays, interacted with the patients, things like that.
So was there anything else in high school that happened?
Oh, actually, yes, there was. That was at a point of the desegregation. And so there were students bused from across town trying to equal out the ratio. And so, and that was good. We didn't have any issues,
So everybody treated each other with
kindness. Very equal, yes. It was a very smooth transition, and that was the last year. I graduated in 1972, and it was we did not have a lot of issues. No racial tension like there is today.
Yes. So, what would you say? What is a world event that changed your point of view
on life?
Yes.
Probably 9/11.
Why would you say that changed your point of view?
Well, I think we take for granted that, or I took for granted that everything is just going to go as it is, and you don't think about places like New York being targeted for something like that to happen, for so many lives to be lost. And you think that you're living in a secure country, that it would not be targeted, or it might be targeted, but that we would have the ability to ward off things like the attack of 9/11.
So whenever you heard the news about 9/11, what were your thoughts? What did you think? Did you believe it, or did you think
I believed it, and I remember where I was at. I was in Bristol, Tennessee. As a matter of fact, your mother was living in Raleigh, working, and she called me and told me about it. I didn't have a television or radio downstairs where I was at the time, and actually she had some friends that was working in New York, and so she called me and told me about it. And yeah, it was very unsettling for me. I didn't really think I knew anybody that would have been there, but I knew she did, so that upset me too.
So who would you say is a hero in your life? Who, or out of the course of your life, who would you say was a hero of yours?
I would have to say my dad. He was a World War II veteran. He was in the Marines, and he lived to be 86 years old, and I loved hearing his stories, his World War II stories, and seeing pictures of him in his grass skirt when he was in the Navy, and just the history of that, and then he was very horse oriented, very animal oriented, and you know, I was the only child. And so we had a cabin at Stone Mountain, and we went there all the time and rode our horses. And then later on in life, I had horses and showed horses, as did your mother, as you know. And so he brought a lot of animal things to me, and I guess that would probably be why he would be my hero.
And it helped shape the person you are.
Right? I think so. Yeah. I think so. And, you know, I always will remember some of the things that he would say to me, and he would always say, this was one of his things. He would say, be as good as your word. And so that is one thing that I have always tried to live by, is to be as good as my word.
I think that's awesome. So, is there anything else you can tell me, or you think?
I don't know.
Did you think years ago that there would ever be something like COVID happen?
Oh no, Kaylee. You know, and I have thought about this. I was somewhere recently, and I thought, just kind of walking around and looking at everybody, all these people with their masks on, and I'm like, this can't be happening.
And you never thought anything like this would happen, where you'd have to wear a mask?
No, never thought that, or that, you know, that there would be so many mandates, and you would, you know, more or less be required, you know, for the vaccination and things like that, and just it's just, no, I never thought that I would live in a time, I would see a time like this in my lifetime. Yeah.
So thank you for talking with me today, and
you're welcome. Thank you. I feel honored.
Thank you.